Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Before starting, subscribe and like the videos, it really helps a lot. The content from this video are taken from the web novel and manga series of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. Now please enjoy the video. Volume 11 Chapter 1 Letter Part 1. It was morning. I opened my eyes. Sylphy was sleeping using my arm as a pillow. White hair and a white nape. If you look closely, long eyelashes. This cute of a girl is sleeping using my arm as a pillow without even a single piece of underwear to be seen. She's sleeping so peacefully while defenselessly showing me her sleeping face. It's just that much of a situation, but I already feel a hustle coming on this morning. I flip up the blanket and glance below it, and I can see Sylphy's cherry blossoms. Just a bit above that, a small bruise is remaining. It's the so-called kiss mark. It's something that I put on her last night. In my previous life, I always wondered what was so fun about adding a kiss mark though. Just like this, waking up in the morning and seeing the kiss mark you've created yourself is really enjoyable. I guess it's the DQN sensation of putting a tattoo or piercing on your own girlfriend. The feeling of conquest comes rising to the surface. Sylphy is my woman. I won't hand her over to anyone. And while I was thinking such things, my son had started morning radio exercises. Even though he did that much intense exercise yesterday, he sure is energetic. In my previous life, it was nothing but solo training, even though he was just a hikikomori these past few years. Recently, when it comes down to the time to act, he's been quite energetic. No good, no good, I can't serve it up in the morning. Sylphy has work today as well. I'll work it off on my end with my morning routine. I removed my arm from under Sylphy's head and placed a pillow there. Rudy, that isn't something you drink. Sylphy stirred, tightly shrinking her body. Her sleep talk is cute. I wonder what I'm drinking in the dream. I have the feeling that I could drink any amount of Sylphy's mineral water. Somehow or other, I touched Sylphy's chest and stroked them a bit. If I do it too strong in the morning, she'll wake up. So tenderly, gently, almost like touching tofu as you filter it. It's a modest sensation. To think that I would get to touch something this good in the morning. I might be the happiest person in the world. This is real sufficiency, huh? Rude. Sylphy faintly opened her eyes and looked at me. And then she grabbed my hand, and with an absent-minded face laughed blankly and said, "Have a safe trip. I'm heading out and I shall be back." I left the room. The next time we'll be able to sleep together is 3 days later, huh? I'm looking forward to it. Part 2. Recently here, I've lived truly peacefully. There's been no incident like incident. If you could say there was one, it would just be about the level that Ranoa and Persena introduced me to a first year. Somehow, this boy is a delinquent of the first years, and within 2 months he had put the squeeze on all of the delinquents in the same year as him. After that, he was getting full of himself and thought he'd put his hands on the Banco group. It seems he was harshly beaten by the first assassin Zanoba. As a result of that, it seems a variety of things happened and it was decided he would enter under my group. That's quite the surprising and unexpected story. According to the story I heard, it seems our school has an existence like the 4 heavenly kings, called the 6 demon group ruling over it. The one ruling over the summit of that is me, it seems. It seems if you manage to defeat all of them you can gain the privilege to challenge me, the boss. It's a composition like a delinquent manga. I better not have some name like Gakuensai Festival or something with that kind of feel attached. Incidentally, those 6 are Zanoba, Cliff, Ranoa, Persena, Fitts, and Badagadi, these 6. If you're speaking of all of them, I wonder if I'll end up having to face an opponent that can defeat a demon king. I don't really like that. In any case, this first-year student boss was pitiful, since he was defeated by the first man. By the time he had made it to my place, his tail was curled up, his head was rounded, it was truly a meek attitude. This first-year student head, it seems he was able to give a somewhat decent fight thanks to the fact that he kept his distance and fought Zanoba using magic. Zanoba somehow endured it, then approached when his opponent had exhausted his magic power and sunk him with one punch supposedly. Nothing can be done about the fact that long-ranged fights end up being close for Zanoba. Next time I thought about teaching Zanoba the ultimate technique to swing a rock with a golf swing and send the opponent flying to China. In any case, at some point unknown to me, people really started to treat me as the Banco. But you know, thanks to that the delinquents all listen to what I tell them, so it's quite helpful. The other day at the time when I found some guys lurking behind the school, it was the same. If I say one word after readying my stance, their faces suddenly turn pale and they stop. If I say just a single line to someone bullying, then the bullying stops. It's not a bad position. Within my field of vision, I don't forgive guys who harass the weak. Even if, for example, the bullied side was the problem. Part 3. One such day. A letter arrived. It was from Paul. It seems to be a letter that was sent a year prior, finally making its trip here. To Rudeus. I saw the letter. That you're going to attend the Magic University. Congratulations. Various things happened, but I feel happy that you're walking down your own path. I'm sure you've heard from Elinalise, but it seems like we can somehow or other manage things with Zenith. It's thanks to Roxy, Talhand, and Elinalise's help. Please tell Elinalise thanks in that regard as well. Well, I'm sure she'll just make an unpleasant face anyway though. Well then, right now we're in Eastport. We're getting ready to head towards Begarito Continent after this. I've never been to Begarito Continent before, but it's supposedly the next harshest land after Magic Continent. Crossing over with children makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Norn and Aisha are still 9 years old after all. So, the idea came up that we would send just the children up to your place. Even though I say that, I know that letting the children journey on their own is dangerous. Ginger said she would act as the escort for them, but I don't know what could happen. It's dangerous, but if we're going to be separated again and worry about it, then it's better to take them along. Just about the time I thought that, we reunited with a certain individual. It's a person you know as well. That person said he would take over escorting the children, so I left it to them. I think you'll be surprised when you meet as well. It's a reliable person. Honestly, it was a mortifying option. If something happens in the middle of the journey and it becomes something terrible when my eyes are off them. When I think that, the feeling that I want to take them together with me is large as well. But, after all, I really want the children to stay in a safe place. Including you as well. After Norn and Aisha get there, I'd like for you to prepare a place for them to live and to commute to school from. It's fine even if it's small. I've left money for school fees and life expenses in their possession. It's a considerably large amount of money. Don't buy a woman or anything. Like that could be the case. Well, I'm sure if it's you then you'll be able to handle it well. Rather, it's something that I really should be doing myself though. Sorry, I'm a bad father. I'm sorry, but I'm depending on you. Thinking about it, you're already 15 years old, by the time this letter arrives you should be 16, huh? You're an adult. I feel bad that I wasn't ever able to congratulate you on your birthday. I can't congratulate Aisha and Norn for the 10th birthdays as well. But well, that's something grand we can do at the time when we reunite. Together with all of our family. It's alright for you to leave this side to us. In reality, the Fedora region search group has disbanded. All that's left are Lilia, Talhand, Roxy, Vera, Shara, and I. We should have enough combat potential to return from Begarito Continent. If things proceed favorably, with a 1 or 2 year delay we'll be able to head over there, I'm sure. In the beginning, I thought about having Lilia go together with the children on the journey, but it seems that Lilia is more worried about me than the children. It's something I can't really accept. How pathetic. Even though I say that, Lilia trusts in Aisha. She seems to have taught her most things that she has to be taught. Aisha is a genius. Between you and Aisha, I'm scared of my own seed. But, Norn is a normal child. A bit different from you and Aisha. That's why I'm sure you might feel impatient at many times, but please look at it over the long term. Also, probably because I was spoiling her, I think she has some selfish points. She also seems to hate you as well. Along with that, her relationship with Aisha isn't very good. Since that's the case, I think there's the possibility that she might end up being isolated, but, as an older brother, I'd like for you to look after her without hating it. Just in case, I've left the same letter with both of them. I think it will be fine leaving it to that person, but if 6 months pass after the time this letter arrives, I'd like for you to search for them on your side. For the time being, something along those lines. It's come down to where I'm leaving every little thing down to you. I do feel apologetic about that. I leave it in your care. From Paul Greyrat. It was a letter overflowing with apologies. Paul, you, really now? It seems Norn and Aisha alone are heading here. I'm a bit worried, but I think it's probably better for them to come here instead of going to the Begarito continent as well. But I wonder if it would have been fine if they were left in the care of Zenith's parents in Milishan. No, I think that in itself might have had its own problems associated with it. Putting aside Norn, Aisha doesn't have Zenith's blood flowing in her after all. The journey is, well, it should be alright. Comparing the central continent to the magic continent, the degree of danger is pretty low after all. If you were to call it a worry, then I am worried that there are many kidnappings in this world, but kidnappers fundamentally only target the weak. If there are 2 of them and they have an escort with some amount of skill, then I'm sure no one will try to forcefully abduct them. It was written in the letter that they have an escort with them. Ginger was a female Knight Imperial Guard belonging to Zanoba. I don't remember how skilled she was. It's just that, since the Knights of Chiron had learned the Water God style, I'm sure she'll be useful for the duty of escorting. And then, there's one more. It's written that it's a person I can trust. I wonder who. Maybe Jisoo. There's no way it could be Eris, right? Thinking about other reliable people that Paul and I know, maybe it could be that person. They did say they were going to search the central continent after all. It could be that luckily they managed to encounter each other. If it's that person, then I can leave it to them. To the point where Ginger is unnecessary. In any case, I could really feel Paul's trust in me from the contents of the letter. It won't be good if I don't respond to that trust. I'm the eldest son after all. However, if that's the case, it's really a success that I already bought a house. We have plenty of leftover rooms as well. We can receive them without any problems. If there was going to be any problems, it would be that my 2 younger sisters are still young. Sylphy's and my love life might not go very well in regards to their education. Well, it should be fine as long as we prepare a room for them away from our bedroom. It's something to look forward to. I wonder when they'll come. Maybe about 2 months later. And before that, it's no good if I don't properly discuss these things. I'll go discuss it with Sylphy. Around this time she should be in the kitchen cooking. After looking into the kitchen, a girl with a small build was chopping vegetables with a chop. Short height, small shoulders, a slender and well-proportioned body. After seeing such a figure from behind, I started to feel a bit turned on. Sylphy. I embraced Sylphy from behind. I put my hands inside the hem of her apron and groped her soft chest. That's it guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want more and don't forget to like the videos.